Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're heading into a quieter part of Tokyo. Forget the usual bright lights for a moment. We're going into Adachi Ward. Specifically, a district called Hanahata. Now, the name itself sounds lovely.
Yeah.
It means flower fields.
It really does. Picturesque.
But here's the thing. If you go there expecting, huge fields of flowers like in the postcards, you might be a little surprised.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a historical twist.
And that twist is basically why we're diving into Hanahata today. It looks quite modern, suburban even, on the surface.
Right.
But underneath, layers and layers of history, all hidden behind that slightly misleading, beautiful name. So our mission is to explore that identity.
Okay.
From its real geographic roots, its spiritual importance, and then, the modern stuff, the gardens, the local food scene, things you, as a visitor, might find really interesting.
Perfect. Let's start with that name then. The flower fields that aren't really there. Why call it that? It feels like the first big question mark.
Exactly. Because Hanahata isn't the original name. Not even close, really. Okay.
That name, Hanahata, only came about in 1889. It was during the Meiji era, when they were merging lots of old villages, 8 of them in this case.
8 villages becoming one district.
Yeah. And they picked Hanahata. The term used is bichuchime. Basically, a beautiful name.
A beautiful name. That sounds deliberate, like they were trying to pretty it up. A bit of Meiji-era rebranding, maybe.
That's a good way to put it. It definitely suggests smoothing over the older, maybe more functional history. These bichuchime sometimes replaced names that were very specific to the land, maybe sounded a bit rustic.
So they wanted something more elegant for the modern era.
Pretty much. The real name, the one you find in documents going way back, like 1352, is Hanamata, with a ma.
Hanamata. Okay, so what does that tell us? If it's not flowers, what was it?
It's geography, pure and simple. It likely points to where rivers met, or maybe the mata part of the land sticking out near the old Tokyo Bay shoreline.
Oh, right, because this area used to be much closer to the day, more marshy. Absolutely. Think rivers like the Ayasagawa, the Munagakawa. This was water country. Forget flowers. Until the 1960s, seriously, it was rice paddies. Agricultural land crisscrossed by water channels.
That paints a completely different picture. Not flower fields, but water fields almost.
Yeah, fertile delta land. And that water connection, that geography, leads us straight into something pretty huge discovered there. The Hanahata relics. Hanahata Iseki.
The archaeology. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it?
This is where it gets kind of mind-blowing for Adachi Ward. These relics, they span a long time back to the Yayoi period, but they were really buzzing during the Kofun period. We're talking like 1,500 years ago.
Okay. And the big find happened relatively recently.
Yeah, 2013. They were digging for a new university campus, Bunkyo University, and they unearthed this soft pottery. It just looked different, out of place.
Different how? Not the usual local style.
Exactly. So they didn't just look at it. They analyzed the clay itself, the taido.
The actual material, like a fingerprint for dirt.
Sort of, yeah. Analyzing the minerals, the composition, and the results were clear. This wasn't made locally. It was imported, specifically from the Korean peninsula, from the time of the 3 kingdoms of Goguryeo, Baekje, or Silla.
Wow, okay, hold on. Pottery from Korea, 1,500 years ago, found in what's now a Tokyo suburb.
Yeah.
That's more than just trade, isn't it?
It implies something pretty significant. Serious, organized contact. Maybe trade routes, maybe even settlers. It points strongly towards Torijin.
Torijin, the immigrants or visitors from the continent who brought new skills.
Exactly. People carrying advanced tech for the time, pottery methods, metalwork, maybe even ideas about farming or governing. Yep. They were hugely influential in shaping Kofun period Japan.
So Hanamata back then wasn't some isolated backwater. It was connected, a landing point.
Seems like it. Receiving foreign goods, foreign knowledge, linked into these wider networks right there on the edge of ancient Tokyo Bay.
It really changes how you see a place like Adachi Ward. Not just outskirts, but an ancient gateway, in a way.
It really does. That theme of external influence, it just keeps popping up in Hanahata's story.
Okay, let's jump forward quite a bit then. From ancient ports to something more spiritual. You mentioned the Ohtori Shrine. That sounds important.
Oh, it's huge in Tokyo history. Hanahata Ohtori Jinja. Its big claim to fame, it's the originator of the Tori-no-ichi market.
The Tori-no-ichi, okay, now that's famous. The market with the lucky rakes.
That's the one, the kumade. Huge, ornate bamboo rakes people buy for business prosperity and good luck. This massive market tradition, held on the Day of the Bird in November, started right here.
When did it start?
way back, during the Wui era. So somewhere between 1394 and 1428, that's medieval Japan.
Incredible. And the shrine itself, why is it dedicated to an eagle in Ohtori?
Classic origin story. It ties back to a warrior figure from the Heian period, Minamoto no Yoshimitsu.
Ah, samurai connection.
Sort of, yeah. Legend says he was praying for victory, saw an eagle awashi, and took it as a good omen. So he enshrined the eagle god, the Tori-no-Kami-sama, and that became the focus of worship.
For visitors today, besides the main shrine building, is there anything else to look out for? Any, hidden corners?
Definitely. The whole area feels quite special, quite calm, but pay attention to the pond area. It's called the Shinchaik, the god pond.
God pond. Okay.
And within it, there's a smaller shrine, a Sujinsha, a water shrine, which connects back to that whole water history of the area, right?
All ties together. Nice.
Yeah.
Are there any special items you can get there?
There are. They have things like the Kayun Yugi. It's a beautiful fortune fan. And sometimes, though it can be limited, the Washizukami Memori. That's the eagle grip amulet. Really unique souvenirs with meaning.
Those sound like proper finds for someone visiting. Now, you mentioned modern realities earlier. Does anything like that impact the shrine experience?
Well, yeah, there's a very Tokyo juxtaposition. The path leading up to the shrine, the sand dune, feels ancient and peaceful.
Well,
but there's an incinerator right next door. And sometimes, depending on the wind, you might notice a bit of smoke near the main hall.
Huh, okay. Ancient sacred site meets modern city infrastructure.
Exactly. It doesn't ruin it, but it's present. A reminder that even history lives alongside the everyday needs of a massive city. Adds a bit of grit, maybe.
Keeps it real, I suppose. Okay, so we've got the ancient history, the spiritual heart. Let's talk about the scenic side, the Hanahata Memorial Garden. This is where the flower field name maybe gets a little closer to reality.
Sort of, although it's a deliberately designed beauty, not a natural field. This garden opened in 1984. It's a proper, large-scale Japanese stroll garden, a Chizen Kayushiki.
Stroll garden, meaning lots of paths, water features, design views.
Exactly. It covers a good amount of space, so you can really wander. But what makes this one stand out is the architecture within it.
Oh, like what?
It has these really impressive stone walls and even a moat-like structure. It's designed to echo, like, old castle fortifications or grand estate gardens. It feels substantial.
So quite dramatic.
Especially the waterfall. There's a big 3-tiered waterfall called the Ataki. And they didn't just pile up any old rocks. They used high-quality Sambaseki stones. You can tell serious care and investment went into building it.
Sounds like a great place to just sit and take it all in. Is there somewhere good for that?
Perfect spot. The Oukatei Cafe. It's right there in the garden, positioned to give you these amazing views over the pond.
Nice.
Imagine it reflecting the lights during an event. Or the cherry blossoms in spring. Just stunning. And they do lovely seasonal Japanese sweets.
Yeah.
Like hot oshiruko, that sweet red bean soup when it's chilly. Perfect pause moment.
That sounds ideal. And they do special events. You mentioned lights.
They do an autumn light-up event. It sounds really atmospheric. They use warm lighting, plus those traditional yukitsuri ropes you see protecting trees in winter.
Oh, yeah, the cone-shaped ropes.
Those ones. They use them decoratively here to highlight the autumn leaves and the garden structure. It apparently looks quite magical. And importantly, they make sure there are barrier-free paths.
That's great. Accessibility matters.
Definitely. Shows they're thinking about everyone enjoying the space.
Okay, so history, spirituality, scenery.
Mm-hmm.
What about food? After a day exploring Hanahata, where does a curious visitor eat? What are the local gems?
Right, the local flavor. Hanahata's got some great spots, often serving the community that's been there a while, before the train lines really expanded out this way.
So real neighborhood places?
Yeah. For something special, there's kawakyu, eel, unagi.
Ooh, classic.
And apparently, it's incredibly good here, like melts in your mouth fluffy. It's supposed to be amazing. But it's small, so you definitely need to book ahead.
Good tip. A real local secret, sounds like. What else? Anything reflecting that external influence theme we talked about?
Absolutely. Remember the Korean pottery from 1,500 years ago? Fast forward to the...
Okay, that's cool.
It sounds fantastic. Really friendly place, and the owner makes everything from scratch, even bakes the baguettes fresh every day.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
You mentioned it's beginner-friendly.
Yeah, the reviews say it has all the authentic flavor, but maybe without being too intensely spicy or pungent with fish sauce, you know?
Cool.
So it's a great way in if you're new to banh mi. A perfect modern import, really.
Love it. And maybe one more for a classic Tokyo taste.
Gotta mention ramen, right? There's Tanaka Shuten, famous in the area for its rich, deep pork bone broth. tonkatsu style.
Ah, the hearty stuff. Perfect after a long walk.
Exactly. Intense, savory, classic Japanese comfort food. A great way to round off the exploration.
So looking back at Hanahata, it's way more than just a name, isn't it? It's this whole journey.
Totally. From an ancient landing spot connected to Korea to the birthplace of a huge Tokyo tradition like the Tori-no-ichi, and now a place with these beautiful hidden gardens and really interesting local and international food. It's got layers.
It really demonstrates how history isn't always obvious, is it? It
Right.
can be hidden right under the surface of a seemingly ordinary neighborhood. That pretty name was just the cover.
And it shows that Tokyo story, doesn't it? Always taking things from the outside, whether it's ancient pottery techniques or modern Vietnamese sandwiches, and making them part of its own unique fabric.
Which leads to a final thought, I guess. Thinking about that 1,500-year-old Korean pottery, that ancient import. If archaeologists dig up Hanahata in, say, another 500 years, what traces of today will they find? Will they be analyzing the remnants of the banh mi shop, celebrating it as a key 21st century cultural marker?
Huh. Maybe. That makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. And how do your travels today, your visit to these places, how does that become part of the next layer of history in a place like Hanahata? Something to think about.